But just to show you how deranged people have got, before we speak to Kevin O'Sullivan on this, let me just have you listen and watch this. This is a Sky News reporter, right, called Sam Coates. You'll probably see him from day to day if you are interested in watching that sort of thing. He's on every single day. He's a reporter in Westminster. This is what he did yesterday.
Did you lie at the dispatch box, Prime Minister? Why did you try and stop Sue Gray publishing her report, Prime Minister? Do you endorse law-breaking in Cabinet, Priti Patel? Foreign Secretary. Is partygate embarrassing on the world stage, Foreign Secretary? Are you being loyal to save your job? Do you think a future Prime Minister would make you Foreign Secretary? Do you want to replace Boris Johnson? Would you defend anything at all, Grant Shapps? Does partygate enhance this government's reputation, Suella? Good morning to you.
Are you a complete prat, would be the next question. What's going on? Who does he think he is? Sam Coates, right? Thinks he can go around shouting at people across the street. Forget the fact that they're senior politicians. Forget the fact that they're members of the government. You don't shout at people. If I went and stood down on London Bridge and started shouting at people across the street, I'd get arrested. What the hell's he doing? It's no wonder that much of the media under the spotlight in this country is so reviled and detested. The bloke is meant to be asking straight questions and getting straight answers, not shouting abuse, not hurling insults at people. Unbelievable. Let's talk to Kevin O'Sullivan, see what he makes of it all. Kevin, a very good morning to you.
It's not the first time you've seen these idiots standing opposite number 10 Downing Street shouting inane questions. Are you going to resign, Prime Minister? You know, have you ever seen any of these politicians turn around and say, oh, it's interesting that you're shouting that question at me. I'll definitely answer it. They never, ever answer it. It's what political reporters do.
Yeah.
It's how they get sound bites.
But, I mean, the trouble is the only soundbite he's getting is him asking a load of dumb-ass questions and getting no answers whatsoever. And he's coming across rather thuggish, I thought.
Well, absolutely, but it's a particularly extreme example of something we see that goes on every single day. I mean, that's what the political reporters do. They stand across the street because they're sort of barriered off, and the ministers and the Prime Minister walk along Downing Street, and the reporters shout inane questions like, are you going to resign?
Yeah.
Are you going to reduce taxes, Prime Minister? Yeah, I'll just come across the street and talk to you for 20 minutes about that.
Yeah, I wasn't going to, but since you've asked, I think maybe I'll get it on.
Never do it. Yeah,
but it's kind of embarrassing. I mean, obviously that's embarrassing. And that's you and I have been around for long enough to know that's totally cooked up. Somebody in his office went, "Yeah, Sam, why don't you do this and we'll make it into a reel on Twitter and it'll go really well." And just shout at everybody and see how many you can get.
Yeah, but you know, but 'twas ever thus. That's what they do. They know they're not going to get interviews, so they just shout inane questions, and they put that on, and then it makes it look as if the Prime Minister or the Minister is being shifty and not answering. It's part of the pageant, but this is a particularly extreme example because, of course, Sam Coates, the Deputy Political Editor at Sky News, he believed he was on the back of a massive scoop about the Prime Minister and Sue Gray being...
Well, I can bring you the first revelatory piece of information. It says this. In her report on Partygate, Sue Gray said, many will be dismayed that behaviour of this kind took place on this scale at the heart of government. And what happened fell well short of the standards expected.
Yeah.
You wake me up when it's over.
It's about time somebody said how impressive a woman Sue Gray is, isn't it? That's what politicians...
Full of integrity, apparently.
Yeah, they say that every 4 minutes. A very impressive woman, very impressed with her, very impressed.
Yeah, we're very impressed, so impressed. Yeah, brilliant, absolutely.
I'm bored with her. I've been waiting for a report for far too long, and now I'm no longer interested in the content.
Exactly right. I mean, in which case Boris Johnson's won again, hasn't he? Because by sort of kicking it into the long grass time and time again, he's kind of come out of it smelling like roses as ever.
It's what inquiries are for. Inquiries were invented by politicians to kick pressing issues into the long grass so they don't have to face up to questions now. And in the fullness of time, it becomes less pressing. That's exactly what's happening with Partygate. Boris has successfully kicked it into the long grass for a couple of months. 2 months ago, people were furious. Now they couldn't really care less. Mission accomplished for the Prime Minister another inquiry that works its magic.
Absolutely. And Angela says this, right? What's happened to monkeypox? It seems like the regular weekend distraction is no longer a story. It's shameful that the media are so easily swayed into these stories that dominate radio, TV and press. Yeah, nobody's mentioning monkeypox today. They must have forgotten about it.
Yeah, look, monkeypox, the World Health Organization bear a lot of responsibility for this. They've been pushing monkeypox like it's the next big pandemic, like there's no tomorrow. However, you've got to remember about monkeypox. We've all been vaccinated against it.
Yes.
Not the same as COVID. There's nothing more we can do. So stop talking about the 50 cases of monkeypox in the entire world and let's get back to normal life.
Very, very well said. Now, one of the things that might have tickled you yesterday was the BBC's news ticker. I don't know if you saw this story, but somebody who was obviously leaving that day, Manchester United are rubbish, and it stayed up for quite a long time. Funnier than that was the apology that they had to then make.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the BBC gets accused of publishing biased information, being biased, but for once they get something exactly right. They're being criticised.
I know, shocking.
United are rubbish, but of course they had to do a mealy-mouthed apology saying, if any Manchester United apologies saw that on the news ticker, that was a mistake, and we're terribly sorry if you were offended by that. You know,
I mean, they've obviously never been to a football match, have they? I mean,
no.
Some people say things far worse, you know, when they're actually attending.
United are rubbish. That doesn't even begin to describe the sort of things that are said about Manchester United at. I
mean, to be fair, even Manchester United's own fans think they're rubbish.
Well, yeah, because they are rubbish. That's why. Yeah.
Absolutely right. Finally, Durham students plan to shake off Oxbridge rejects tag because they're not going to have any more dinners. I mean, if ever you needed to know how out of touch students are, this is it, isn't it?
Yeah, so Durham is always thought of as the third university in Britain after Oxford and Cambridge. And so it stands accused of kind of mimicking what goes on at Oxford and Cambridge. So like at Oxford and Cambridge, they have these sort of dinners between the dons, the professors and the students. They all put their academic gowns on and all that.
Must be a laugh a minute.
I mean, you know, go to them or don't, who cares? But the students at Durham say that they mustn't have these dinners anymore because they're sinister and they're to do with depression and slavery and God knows what. So they're not going to have these dinners. Or they don't want these dinners anymore. Nobody cares whether you have the dinners or not. Go and eat some food, drink some wine with the professors, or don't. Nobody cares.
Very good. Listen, I should look forward to seeing you on Saturday, the Saturday night to Talk Away, 7 p.m. We're still in the process of putting it all together, but it's going to be a belter, I'm sure. Kevin Sullivan and me from 7 o'clock on Saturday. Kevin's on Sunday, of course, as well. I'll see you there. Thank you very much.